Thanks for joining me on the premiere episode of On the Road, and as you can tell by looking at that footage, it's going to be a great episode. I had the rare opportunity to film these two fighting bucks at a mere 30 yards. Add to that a high definition camera and a quality shotgun mic, and you have for superior video footage. You're not going to want to miss a second of the action as I do some creative slow motion and show one of these bucks taking a tine 6 inches deep in his neck. So sit back and enjoy the premiere episode of On the Road. All right, now let me set this buck fight up for you. We're actually headed out for the evening hunt. We're going to a designated area where we're setting up glass and looking for a 201-inch drop time buck. We actually ended up shooting him a couple days later. However, we're on the way out to the spot. We come around the corner and there are these two bucks on opposite sides of the fence, sparring, spitting at one another, and just absolutely furious with one another. On the side of the 5x3, he's got 15, 16, 17 does, and the 3-point wants his share of those. Well, they're on opposite sides of the fence, and anytime we're thinking these guys are going to tear into one another and just tear themselves up in the fence, but it never happened. We sat there and filmed them for 10, 15 minutes. I filmed through the windshield, as you can see, and then at the next point I'm out the window, and we're only 20, 30 yards from these deer, and I'm out the window filming them. So as we decide to pull off and leave, the big buck turns and takes off running, and at that point the small buck jumps the fence to take off running also. And when he does, it upsets the big buck, so he turns around. At this point, I'm scrambling to get my camera back out and hit the record button. There's a 5 or 6 second delay, and I want to catch this fight if they fight. Well, the camera button punches, the red light comes on just in time as that big buck jumps at that smaller buck. And not very often do you see a 3.5-year-old deer fight a 5, 6, 7.5-year-old deer, but at that point, when he jumped that fence, that flight or fight response, he had no choice, he had to fight. So he fought that 5.5, 6.5-year-old buck, and he did a dang good job of it. Right here, that buck's main beam is in the throat, in the windpipe area of that other buck. It's in there so hard and they're so strong, he is lifting that other buck up just by his main beam being in the neck of that buck. Let's rewind that and take a look at that again. Right about here, I look down and see my audio meters are barely moving, and I have to manually turn up my shotgun mic to catch this extreme sound. Thanks for joining us on the premiere of On the Road. We hope you enjoyed that buck fight as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. There's something about adding awesome audio to great footage to create a stellar finished product. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on the road.